We advocated for the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, and it provided grants for after-school robotics programs in Maryland.
So I'm really passionate about helping educate people about STEM and robotics. And for our team, I've actually been volunteering at a local elementary school with 4 FLL junior teams, and I really thought that that would support teams just like that and teams like our team in other areas.
The act targeted the allocation of funds to after-school STEM mentor-based programs for underprivileged students. And since I've really gotten a lot through the program and have developed a lot since I joined 1st and 7th grade, I want students in areas, especially those where they don't have a lot of opportunities, to get some kind of experiences that I had.
So the act kind of means to me that there's going to be more opportunities for people like me. So even though that they're younger, they'll have the experience of FIRST and STEM activities that they might not have had without the bill. So with that money, they'll be able to get the experience that I'm getting and the rest of our team is getting to brighten their future in a way that it wouldn't have been without it.
So the bill is the future of STEM and robotics after school education. It will provide the funding, and it will be the pinnacle of after school robotics. It will allow thousands, if not millions, of students to have this massive experience that will help them grow, help them learn, help them, find themselves and find where they fit into the world.
It was nice to be able to help other kids be able to have opportunities in programs like this. We're lucky to be in this area and have this program already set up and be able to join. And then being able to help other kids in areas who may not have that opportunity and be able to explore what they want to learn and really impact their future and what they want to do in their future. It's just really nice to be able to help make an impact like that.
What ESSA means to me is that students who don't necessarily have the access to these kind of programs like FIRST can get that kind of access because ESSA provides funding for them and they can fund the teams to start and stuff like that.
This bill can help start more FIRST teams in Maryland, and so other kids like me can get the same experience that I've gotten.
The conference was an amazing experience. I learned a lot about FIRST and how our government functions in real life application, as well as I got to spend my summer working towards a really good cause.
It was probably one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. I never thought if you told me before high school or before the team that I was going to go to Capitol Hill and advocate for STEM, I wouldn't have believed you. It was really cool. Like I said, meeting all those new people were awesome. Getting to experience meeting some of our representatives was amazing, and I've never really thought about government or politics before this, but now I'm a lot more interested in it, and it makes more sense to me after getting the experience.
So the third day at the conference, we finally made it to Capitol Hill, and it had to be the most fun I've ever spent trying to convince people to do what I wanted. We got to parade around the Senate, we got to parade around the House buildings, all dressed up, all looking professional and everything. And we got to see all these powerful and influential people in their natural habitat. And there's something about that you don't get from textbooks or pictures or anything like that. And our final meeting with Congresswoman Edwards, they had a water line break or flooding on the roof, something like that. And there's this waterfall. We were trying to get to the elevator, we were a few minutes late. And there's this waterfall coming down the elevator, just gushing water, and it filled up about 6 floors in this little corner that we were supposed to be going to. So we had to go downstairs and upstairs, and we had to take, I think, 6 flights of stairs to bypass it. And all the power was out, and it was hectic, but it was fun because we got to go on this impromptu tour of a House building, and you don't get that anywhere else. The NAC was pretty much one of the only opportunities you can get that.
It was a really amazing experience. That was the year before that in school. I had taken, government class, but being able to learn and experience exactly how it works and knowing that even students can go and make an impact in our government and be able to try and make a change and help other kids in other areas. It was really amazing to see, and being able to meet all kinds of people and just work together with other first teams. It was really cool to get together as kind of a community, even though we didn't know each other beforehand. It felt like we already kind of knew each other through first.
Overall, I said my experience was probably pretty great. Being able to learn everything I learned there, and being able to go on Capitol Hill and talk about something I loved was very nice. And getting to meet the staffers and the representatives was also really cool.
It was a lot of fun. It was a little tiring because it was 3 days long, but I enjoyed it a lot, and I want to go again this year.
I liked being able to work with other teams in our area and even outside of our area, and being able to see and hear about their experiences in first, and being able to work together with them to make a change in our area and also across the country. Like, for example, there was one person I met, and we're still in contact. She's all the way in Michigan, but we're still in contact, and it's just really cool to meet people like that.
My favorite part of the National Advocacy Conference was probably getting to go on Capitol Hill. That experience was so cool, to get to talk to my representatives and their staffers about something I'm so passionate about and be able to advocate for it.
Getting to meet people from all over the country who I wouldn't have gotten to meet had I not gone to NAC.
I would have to say that my favorite part overall is just learning about how everything in the government really works, because I took honors government in my 9th grade year, and I never really saw the application of any of it. And then in just one day at the National Advocacy Conference, we learned all about how everything worked. And it was amazing to me because it was stuff that we had never learned in government, and I finally saw how I could fit into the workings of the government.
My favorite part would have to be sharing my passion for FIRST and telling my personal stories about what I've gotten throughout the experience with the senators and seeing their positive reactions.
My favorite part was getting to meet new people from different states and seeing how FIRST kind of runs in their states in comparison to ours. So I've met a lot of people. I'm still in touch with a lot of people, especially the people that I was kind of going and seeing representative with. So it was really cool to meet them and get their take on advocacy and stuff like that in their states.
It had to be meeting the different congressmen and senators. They were very helpful, and it was awesome to see those powerful people taking input from us teenagers. We rarely have powerful people listen to us before, and it was an interesting experience.
I think the biggest thing I can take away that I learned from being at NAC was how to talk to people who are intimidating. I was able to talk to staffers and senators and representatives when I think I probably couldn't have done that before.
So for all of my time in FIRST, I've been very lucky to be at a school that has everything that we need. And we have 3 FTC teams and 1 FRC team, and we've just been really lucky. And going to NAC, I found out that there are some teams that really aren't nearly as lucky as we are, and they're just getting by with parts that they had last year and the kit of parts, and it really made me want to help them.
I learned how to properly talk to my senators and representatives, and I also learned a lot about how our government works.
When we were being trained for how to talk to the senators and congressmen and whatnot, they gave us a lot of statistics about FIRST and our country's STEM crisis and how we don't have enough people to fill the workforce. And that kind of stuff I didn't know before, so I thought that was really enlightening.
I learned how to speak to our representatives. So before National Advocacy, I would have had no idea how to speak to representatives and senators. So it was really valuable with me learning those kind of skills. So if I were to do it in the future, I'd know how to and not be as hesitant to.
Well, I learned that the congressmen are very open and receptive to their constituents. Their doors practically always open to us. And if you have an issue or concern regarding politics, you're always welcome to either email, call them, or visit them in person in DC.
Not only did I learn a lot about how the FIRST program works and how we're able to raise more money to help fund more programs, I also learned about how to talk to people. I've always been kind of nervous about public speaking or speaking to important people, and I was able to go up and talk to a senator and, talk to important people who make, decisions for our country, and be able to stay, I don't know what the word is, but like stay calm and stay focused.